Hi Collective, welcome to the channel. I'm Crystal, Divine Messenger. Alright, so we're looking into this energy with Saturn being in retrograde for 2025. So Saturn just went into retrograde, I think on July 13th, just over the past week, right? And, or 10 days now. And it will be through November. Okay. Now this is really a time where just you're assessing like your life path, your lessons, your situations, relationships, things like that, moving forward. You know, when Saturn is in retrograde, it's kind of like hands are off, right? For you to evaluate and you make decisions, okay, on like where you're going, things like that. Especially having Mercury in retrograde as well. You know, this could be bringing up past situations for you to evaluate, for you to look at. And this is just like a really powerful time where like you're not being guided, you're getting to make your own choices and decisions. Now, if you're making beautiful decisions, recognizing patterns, closing out toxic things, and not repeating cycles, then you're not going to be receiving the karma that you would be if you were experiencing certain like karmic debt. Like that's why this is a beautiful time where like you feel as though the chains have been broken, that things are stopping. Because if you were down karmic pathways and patterns where you were receiving those things and you evaluate and you realize that and you stop, like it stops. That's why there's this energy of feeling like you have set yourself free. We've been seeing a lot of in the collective about curses being broken, especially with our big full moon that we just had in Cancer season. Right, and that was a very, very powerful full moon for releasing because we were under this retrograde and all of that. Like everything really plays out. Like everything is so interconnected and woven. Like I can't even explain like the galactic intelligence that is just behind how beautifully aligned everything is, right? And especially for like the chosen ones, right? As we're setting the pathways into New Earth, and it's time for our karmic justice, and this is the promise. Okay, this is all those things that we've been talking about, like, you know, what we've been caught up in, what we've been holding on to. Like that's why you're reaching these extreme moments of enlightenment, realizations, towers, all of that, because things that are not in alignment with you for your highest good to receive your highest timelines, like they're being eliminated, wiped out, washed out. Like it's happening for some of you. It's phases, it's certain towers that need to occur. I'm hearing for some simultaneously, for others there's like different layers and levels to this. Okay, but it's so happening, and it's interesting, the last reading that I just posted where I was saying like a betrayal was executed to save your legacy. Because for some of you, like I said, source will come in and break your heart and cause betrayals to end situations with people that are not in alignment with your highest calling. Like for some of you, some people could have been after your destinies, right? Could have been holding on to you. You know, like for protection purposes, for kind of as access to the light. Because for some, like, people were holding on to you so heavily because they knew that you were from, like, they knew that source, you were connected heavily with divine source. Like for some, they thought as though they were kind of like protected, which they were, you know. Everybody's protected under chosen ones and the earth angels until they create distance and space and pull their energy back, right? So know that. So for some of you, like that's why you needed to have things happen. That's why for some of you, like you might have been experiencing some of others' karma by being surrounded, but it was only a taste of it. You don't even know all the stuff that you're protected of. That's why it's important, like we will be allowed to get hurt a little bit sometimes, just to kind of to show and see, right? Like a situation happened earlier where I was hurt a little bit, but it was just enough to like awaken me and to get me to realize, but it wasn't to the levels, like that's how you may know too, like you a divine child, right? Is You get into situations where you walk away like very minimal, you know, and you know it could have been far worse, right? Or you've aligned even with people that have, you know, experienced far worse, right? So anyway, so for some of you, like, yeah, some things still may have happened, but watch how fast things take off for you when you get things eliminated, removed from you. You restore your power and your energy. Right? It's important too to be calling and claiming all of your fragmented pieces and energy back to yourself that may have been scattered from people taking it, using it. It's important to clear cords and ties and do all sorts of things to restore your energy. Okay? Right away, look, the Ten of Chalices are showing me that that's the self-love card, but it's also the union card, balancing out the masculine, the feminine energy, becoming in union with oneness, right, with divine source creation, right? But I don't know if I have to explain most of that to you, as you already are all aligned, right? That's why you found my channel. You're in alignment of frequency, but maybe you had some that were blocking that out from you. Alright, so anyway, I want to get more into the cards now and see what's coming in with this beautiful energy. That's why some used to like look at like here's that Three of Swords is talking about, like, as Saturn retrograde is like, oh no, like it's karmic season, and you do see a lot of people and their karma playing out, because it's like, yeah, even though it's like the driving force is off in the lessons, like you get to make the decisions and stuff is like very fast at this time as far as like laws of attraction. Okay, it's kind of like where you're setting up your assignments too. They're showing you like school, you know, like when school starts and they give you like your assignment sheet or whatever, and you get to go around and you get to see like where your classes are and all of that, and like you can make those final changes and adjustments or whatever, but it's like you're starting to get the feel for like your path. You're starting to see things. Maybe you're starting to look into the classrooms and you're starting to see what some of your courses would look like. Maybe you're starting to see some of your classmates that you would be with. So you're kind of getting these glimpses and these peeks into things, right? You're really analyzing and seeing things from a higher level. Look, there's the Tower, where I was talking about my little short along with the reading that I just did. So this energy is still coming out. That Poseidon here is striking what was being created there, and I don't feel it was like a weapon against you, or for some of you it may have been. If people were forging weapons against you or trying to cause destruction and chaos, it's being exposed. Those things are being destroyed. So for some of you, if you see somebody's life falling apart and all of that, they had a lot of karma that they were needing to endure. And for some of you, it could have been things that they were putting up against you, where people feel as though like you're sending these things to them, but really it's their own energy manifesting back towards them. So all the things that people project towards envy and jealousy and all of that, it just goes right back to sender. And a lot of times people are attacking themselves, damning themselves, I'm hearing, cursing themselves, and it's all over the things that they've done. Look, you're showing me the 10 of coins. Your legacy. I told you this has to do with a legacy. I'm hearing legacy building too. For some of you, you're aligning with others that are going to be part of your higher timelines in your legacy building. That's why I like peering into the classrooms, right, and things like that, and aligning more. That's beautiful. Okay, so these things are getting you on course with where you're supposed to be. The things that have been blocking you and stopping you are being eliminated and removed. Yeah, look, 3 of Chalices. For some of you, there's divine unions that are meant to commence, right? For some of you, you're very powerful builders, right? So these finishing tests are being figured out. Like, for some of you, like, maybe they were getting harsher and more extreme if you were really going off course, too. Maybe that's where it's just like, all right, they need more. They need more. Okay, let me give them some more. Let me get the, but it's really to get you on path, right?
Oh, I forgot to take this off.
5 of coins. So you could have been having things restricting your finances, your resources, feeling abandoned, left out in the cold, things like that. You know, and a lot of times that will happen too, so you go within, right? And you get closer to divine source creation. You pour that love into self, right? That's why people can be allowed to mistreat you and things like that. So it's ultimately to build you up. But see, I feel that you have found this balance, temperance. Maybe for some of you, you started saving up money, resources, finances, right? Maybe that's why, you know, being in that 5 of coins energy will get you to find a way. It's kind of what I feel like happens here. The Fool and the Empress. So this forged you into this beautiful Empress energy, right? Now you have this abundant new beginning that's here for you. So I feel for some of you, you're in this 9 of Pentacles energy now. You're in a better position. You're feeling very beautiful. Okay, you could have been trapped. Oh, one of my stars come off. You could have been trapped in a situation. Okay, but it could have been within the mind. For some of you, you could have been in a lack poverty mindset. What I'm seeing in the collective too is to be careful with your association with money. Like, money is not the root of all evil. That's what they want us to think, right? Money is a very beautiful thing. It is a tool used in this earthly realm, and it runs at a vibrational frequency. Now, what they have done is they've got us to be in this lack mentality, right? And in this job matrix mentality, which job is just above broke, right? Living means to means, living paycheck to paycheck, looking at things, right? So, but no, money, it can definitely open up in an infinite way, right? And there's infinite ways of things, right? And then to look at like the treasures and things. Sometimes it's just so beautiful to get gifted things, right? Where you can feel just so rich and well just by somebody giving you an abundance amount of gifts, but you know what I mean? So that's why I say there's infinite ways, right? Sometimes it's just discovering a skill that you have that you can monetize on, or a talent, or something that you can create, or look at how you can give your time, your services, you know what I mean? Just there's so many things available, right? But it has to do with that frequency. You want to bring things in, you've got to elevate your vibrational frequency and be open to letting things come through, and the beautiful things that can be done with money and resources, right? So for some of you, getting out of that mentality of not having enough, right? Letting divine bless you with abundance. Look how divine is offering a golden pentacle, right? That is the quickest way in a material 3D world is to, you know what I mean, change the vibrational frequency with money and resources, using things in the physical, alchemizing on those things, right? But as you know, the highest vibrational frequency of all is love. The Ace of Cups is here. That's why they go tandem. That's why the ones that have this unconditional love here, right, have everything. So this is beautiful. You're definitely being given something. I see the Knight of Oars here. So the Knight of Wands is coming out with the 5 of Swords. And the Tower. This is what I feel a tower was struck to. Somebody was a hidden enemy here. Okay. The 5 of Swords. Look, they're laughing, holding those swords. Could have had somebody coming up against you as well with the 2. Like, he's laughing there next to somebody. And could have had someone running game on you. You know, the Knight of Wands is that player energy, non-committal energy. Friends could have been a factor too. Take whatever you feel is free. If a part's not fitting, leave it out, right? Especially when it's starting to go down personal storylines. But something is being, like, if a plan was derived, I'm getting to, for some, it was like enemies teamed up together. I'm getting for some, like, exes. Like, somebody started communicating with like somebody's ex or something like that to come up against you. You know what I mean? Because they couldn't take you down, so they're getting allies or whatever. And divine, no, they're divine season, and things are being taken care of. Know that. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Remember that. Do no harm to my prophets. Chosen ones. Ace of Oars here. Passionate new beginning is here. It's protected. 8 of Oars, the Hermit. Things are going to move very fast for whoever's been isolated. For some of you, you were isolated to protect you, to to level you up, to power you up for some of you. For some of you, like, you needed to get really rested, rejuvenated, healed. I'm getting for a lot of you, like, you had quantum level healing that was being done on you. Or some of you, you were being prepared for something. Wow. That's very specific, source. I don't want to get into exposing too much.
I said hi.
Okay. Justice is here. Yeah. 2 of chalices. This is about that self-love and that coming together. Look at these beautiful... Show me, like, the mind palace. These very beautiful buildings and towers that I've been seeing lately, reminding me of, like, Atlantis, Lemuria. I've been getting Avalon lately. You know, like, very, very powerful New Earth creations. I just bumped into it. 8 of chalices. See how, like, the walking away, there was like a missing cup here. Look at that. The missing cup, taking away to go see, going looking for what you were missing here, and it's taking off fast. For some of you, things are taking off very fast. Like, you're finally getting it. You're finally realizing what was blocking you, what was stopping you. You're putting an end to that with the death card here. Yeah, the lies have been exposed, the deception, the trickery. Whoever was 7 of Swords in you, you're having boundaries up to with the 7 of Wands. You're realizing that you had beings that were plotting against you. Maybe for some of you, you're realizing those closest to you were being used by the enemy, right? Maybe using childhood wounds there, but you've healed from this. You've alchemized this situation. See, and destiny and the Page of Coins. Like, you found what... Look at how he's putting his hand down, too. Like, you realize they were after your frequency, your vibration, the love, what you carry. You're realizing something. Maybe it was never about, like, what you had in the physical, right? Somebody's realizing that. Like, somebody knew your power and your worth, I feel, before you did. Right? Look at the world. Like, you have the power to create anything that you desire. Anything. And maybe somebody was manifesting off of your energy, using your essence. And you're realizing that. And they were merely just siphoning a piece, a part of you. Just a piece. Now imagine what it was going to be like when you're fully restored. When you have all of your power, all of your energy. What you can create then, right? And aligning with who you were meant to be, who you were meant to be. Now I know why these divine unions were so threatened. Why so much had to come against these divine unions. Because if just one individual can be this powerful, imagine what how powerful they would be, full and incomplete.
I just hit bumped through this guy.
It has to do with new world order, new world, just new earth for sure, and just the love and the frequency that's gonna hit this planet. Look at how it's beautiful, the birthing. She's holding Earth, but if you look, it looks like a baby in her womb that looks like the grass, the land. Just, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I had to put little star stickers. How beautiful is that? Like, what? Y'all, I'm definitely I was getting a golden divine child in the last one. There could be a very, very powerful child that's coming through. Why is the 5 of chalices reversed here? Let me see. Why did it get flipped? What do you want me to see? Each of these decks that I have are really unique and have different messages. Okay, so especially when it comes to the reversals, I like to look them up. Now, in this one it says the batten down the hatches for the retrograde meanings. Right now, your beacon of hope is those two remaining chalices still standing.
Jumper here, I got you.
Okay.
Jumper.
It is time for you to lean into these as you start to navigate your new beginning after any type of defeat. It's showing up as that nudge to get up, brush yourself off, and keep on keeping on. To keep on keeping on. So for some of you, that's the message. Okay? So your beacon of hope is those two remaining chalices. You know, so in the upright meaning, okay, it's often that, you know, you don't see the two cups that are available, but for some of you, like this, so it's calling for you to focus on something. Okay? Let me look at the upright meaning in this deck. When this card shows up in a reading, it's letting you know it's okay to grieve a loss of any sort. You need to give it space to move on. Look around you and see the blessings that are already in your life. Lean into those things that bring you back to the light and start to move forward again. It can be hard to move past the loss, but it can be done. So the energy is coming out a little bit different here in the reversed meaning. See, it's not to give it time and space and grieve over it. I really feel it's to embrace the situation that you went through, to remember how that forged you into this energy at this time. They don't want you to simply forget it and to grieve from it. They want you to use that as like your power, your driving, your force at this time. Right now, your beacon of hope is those two remaining chalices that are still standing. Which that also, you know, represents looking around at your life. So there's something in your life. So the challenges, the experiences, everything, you need to look at how that forged you into this powerful being. This made you stronger than ever. Right? Using that power and strength that you learned from this situation to move forward.
And I'm dead.
Right? That's why I say never be regretful of the situations that you found yourself in. They were all part of your journey. They were all part of your plan. Right? And if you steer too far off of course, if people are taking advantage of you and things like that, I mean, it's always seen. If it's being allowed to happen, then it's because you still need to learn something. And the Most High, Divine Source Creation, it was set up that way. That's why there's not interventions and there's not intervening when it's serving a purpose. That's why people may think that they're getting away with things they're not. You know, people think that they may be using you, but the whole time they were being used. Right? By a heart, like, you know, Most High, Divine Source Creation likes the devil to think that it's got the upper hand and it's winning. But in the end, you always know who wins. Right? That's what I mean. So your enemies, the ones that came up against you, they're realizing now that they were but getting used from a higher level to level you up. Your destiny is here. The timelines are here for the chosen to inherit everything that they were always meant to have. There was never it was for this moment. You may have felt as though you were deserving of this before, but you weren't. The time is now. And if anything was taken, it gets made right. You know how it works, right? Everything gets taken. And there's the Ace of Swords, so you could be getting clarity, the truth realization. So there's something about a golden child. Right. I'm hearing like a new leader, but I don't even... I mean, I don't like to say we're going to have like a new leader or whatever, because it's all about being set free and not being under control. But there's something very powerful about a golden child. For newer. Right? I don't know if this is like the first full and complete child. If this is like the new start of a... like fully activated like child, you know.
A high call keeping, the high screecher.
There's something about that. like the purest child. That's what I'm getting is these are like two very pure souls coming together for a golden child to be birthed. That's what I mean for some, like, I'm getting so many different things right now. So many different. And I'm feeling the attacks too coming my way, so I'm gonna stop with that. This is a very, very powerful. I only got 2 minutes left available. 27:22 is available for this reading. I'm at 25:33. Wow.
Yeah, it's taking way too long to do.
Anyways, I'm gonna leave this one here. I'm sending love and light to all of you. Definitely watch every full guiding too, right? All the readings can be timeless. This is it's gonna find you when you're meant to see it, but it is more fun to catch them in real time. I let you know about the cosmic alignments that we got going on, like our new moon in Leo tomorrow. So that's really powerful. Starting out Leo season, new moon right away. And we're in Saturn and Mercury retrograde, so but yeah, that's mainly what I was talking about, right? Saturn retrograde, so it's definitely powerful to catch them, you know, in real time. So subscribe to the channel if you have not. Send love and light to all of you. All right, bye guys.